This is Justin AMZN on Monday, January 25th, 2021. Taking a look at the 5 minute. And I drew in a few lines already on each of the charts. So I've got the cyan line up here based on the open price, and I've got this tan line down here based on the close from Friday. And so I did that on each of the charts. So obviously the cyan is above the tan line on the call and on the stock, and then it's flipped on the put because it's going the other direction. And so just wanted to kind of point out what I was seeing here. On the put, it really looks the cleanest, where we have this double bottom here. And it started to break out and rested for one candle and then just ran. On the stock, it looks like a very lopsided double top, and same with on the call. But it still traded through this same range here as it did here, as it did, here. There you go. So just kind of framing it up with these lines. And then a little bit later, that's a bad line, had a little bit of a triangle here. And you can see it here, broke out, retested, and then kind of did another S-curve thing here. It's a little harder to see on the put. It's really this flat bottom and then this couple of candles, which, I mean, connecting two highs doesn't really say much. It's not really trending or something. It's just connecting 2 points. So I usually like to see more than that when I'm drawing lines in. I want to see it connect more things. But in this case, that ended up working to be a nice triangle. And if I can get the drawing tool to work. Nope. There we go. It retested back onto the call right from this apex level. So there's your triangle like that. Ignore that piece. Let me erase that. Maybe. Hey, there we go. All right. So it broke out, retested right back to the apex, and then bounced here. Or you could have been looking for, to get above this price from the last close. Not to say you would have been looking at that, but just having this drawn in as a reference would be nice. And then to see that, let me see, this candle with a high right above it. So 0.7 range on that candle. This line is at 815. So getting in like 815 by 715 or 8 by 7 or 850 by 750 would have triggered in, would have worked, and actually would have had a little bit of a retest back to 850. And looking for 3R would have been 1150, 1149, of course. So let's stick with the idea of 815 by 715, because then it would have filled it at 1115, or at least you would have been trailing up the stop and locked in an R, or maybe a little bit more than that. That's on the bullish move here. But the bullish move to open the day, I mean, let me switch over to an hourly because it's a lot easier to see all in one place. This gap was really, really nice. Obviously the hourly candle, the opening candle was inverted hammer, which was not as bullish. But the gap price up here looked like it was clearing all of Friday. And then it was also clearing some of the highs. Well, actually the open was here, so I think it cleared it. Extend left, yeah. So we opened above this upper wick, so it was a really bullish gap, clearing a lot of these highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, getting above 6 bearish candles, and looked like it was a nice continuation after this being a little bit more of like a stair step, kind of a flag, more of a flag than a stair step. Friday was definitely a stair step, but then this whole thing together was more of a flag. This looked like it was just going to continue on bullish gap and go. And there were some very key things in the candles that said, nope, not going to do that. Obviously, the first two candles were very bullish. Then you had a little bit more of, not quite a hammer, but you had a nice upper wick here. This candle was nicely an inverted hammer. but you had a evening star reversal here. And then when this candle got a little bit above this shaved top, right? Is that a shaved top? The open and the high? No. Well, within the dollar. There's a tiny upper wick there. Anyway, it pushed through that and didn't go any further. And then broke lower. So we got below the low of this bullish kind of at least positive candle. We had another candle that was almost a shaved top, high wave candle here. Okay, really nice high wave candle. Looks like it's bouncing off of the open price, and then it doesn't. And then this is a really nice rest after battle. So you have, bookends of a bearish candles with a little bullishness in between that just totally gets taken out by this candle. So at this point, we're into this range, and this, I believe, at 925. So the put at 925, and 925 is right here. So it's still forming this double bottom on the put while it's actually starting to break down on the daily, on the 5 minute, on the stock. And so with this, and then on the call at 925, we were just about to break down. We were breaking down below that. So any last gasp was happening right in here. So this is I didn't even say it, the 3,500 call and the 3,200 put. I did the same thing looking at, let me zoom back out. I did the same thing looking at the 3,450, drawing in these prices. And just what's interesting with this is because we had a really large bullish gap up, the options price were very lopsided. So the call, even for the 3,450, so with this price, we're still over 100 points out of the money, both directions, to get to the 3,400. This one was opening at 1547, and this one was opening at 975. So just there was much more premium baked into the call, looking like it should go higher, and then it didn't. And a lot more of that premium got pulled out, but still had some in there because we put in some lows down here in the $10 range, 10 by 9, and that was nice. 10 by 9 on this call option, but we were down in the 7 to 8 on the puts. I mean, we were further away out of the money, I think. So let me go back to the 3,500. How low did we go? 6, 7. Okay. So at this point, yeah, we're 200 points away. It just seemed like there was a lot more bullish premium still baked in to the options than there was bearish premium. But anyway, I'd have to take a look at it more and calculate some stuff to see how that was working out. But anyway, with where the prices ended up, you could have traded through this range from the cyan to the tan, and then it didn't get back up to the cyan line on the 5 minute stock, but it did on the call, and it actually broke down to that level in the put. So we had a little better range, a little better movement on the options, even though the stock itself just didn't get going. It actually kind of paused right at this yellow line, which if I switch back to the hourly or 4 hourly, that's this larger triangle that I've got drawn in. Oh, I haven't looked at this in a while. That's interesting. So these, I don't even know what this feature is, but I have it somehow turned on. Let's see, hourly, it's not doing it. 30 minutes? 30 minute does it. And it just draws in some of these triangles, and then it usually highlights a range. Okay, so this triangle, it highlighted this green range up here. So I hover over this, and sometimes it turns on, sometimes not. Okay, these triangles are saying it should get up here, which it ended up doing. I don't know what the settings are for this, so it's just something that I glance at when I see it. let's see here. So here's a triangle, and then it says we're going to break down. We did name, triangle, direction, both. Predicted price range. Okay. I don't even know what the setting is, but it's been on my chart for a while, and it's just something that I'll notice. And it always gives like a range, but it doesn't extend it further out in the future, because it'd be nice if it's like, okay, well, maybe not this day, but in 2 days we'll get there. It'd be nice to know. It's almost predicting the future. So anyway, I was just expanding this out to look at the 4-hourly to just show the where this triangle is. And obviously you can see I have a ton of old lines I gotta go get rid of. I switched over to do something on the on-demand stuff earlier, and it screwed up my charts, and I was fighting with it and getting very frustrated. And it's like, all right, let me get things drawn back in. Fortunately, I was able to get this drawing set back in place. So this is drawing set as Justin Amazon 5, and I had to check my Friday video to see that I had named it that, because I didn't remember. But anyway, I have these same lines drawn back in, what we're looking at now, that had disappeared earlier today. But anyway, so here's where we are. We're running into the same resistance. If you ignore the triangle, we had the same range. We're running into the 3,300 to 3,350 or 60. Let's see the high here, 3366.80. And then we just ran into that same price, 3363.89 was the high. So we got a little bit above what we did back at the end of December. Stayed below that a couple days ago, and then pushed above, but with a really strong, really strong inverted hammer. When we take this candle out, be bullish. That's what I'll say. If it happens soon, like if it happens tomorrow or the next day, be bullish very, very quickly. This is a strong bearish candle at a great resistance, and it's just not showing up as much. Let me switch back to the 4-hour and the mess of candles, or the mess of lines. So let's do this. Let me draw in. I'm going to draw in a thick line over here. Actually, let me borrow this one. That. We're just going to draw this in at the high 3366.80, and I'm just going to put it in as both, and then let's make this, make it red, and let's make it thicker. There we go. Okay, so now we should see that. If I go back down to the 5 minutes, will that still be there? Yeah, okay. That is a strong resistance. And so this whole area is a resistance zone. Let's just call it a resistance zone. So we'll keep an eye out for getting above this. But I mean, this whole zone, and I mean, you can call the whole zone all the way down to like 3,300 or 3,250. Once we're up here, we're just kind of pausing, going sideways quite a bit. Today was a really, really good rejection of that level. Like I said, there were some really clean candles in here, inverted hammer here, double top, and it just pushed lower. And then it pushed all the way down to this Morningstar reversal, high wave indecision candle. I was trying to see if that had some support that it was pulling into, and I don't think it was here. I think it was further back. So we switch back over to an hourly and see, did we have, yeah, so this is some resistance, some old resistance became new support today. So if we draw another line, I'm just going to borrow, well, no, I'm going to borrow the same one. But if I just move this line over here and see, let's see, do we line up with anything? If I just draw it to these two, it's like, oh, well, that's why we bounced there, because these were, oops, sorry. That's why we bounced here today, right around 3250, because that was resistance here and resistance here, and then it was kind of resistance or kind of support here, and then it broke down this day. It just became support again. So now we're in this area. You know what I will do? I'm going to borrow the other line. I'm going to duplicate this one. And we're going to just drop it in here. And we're going to put it at the high of this candle, which is 32, 48, 95. 32, 48, 95. So I'm going to keep this on here and I'm going to make it a little smaller. So that's basically the range we got into today. We're staying in. So if we break down out of this range, like have a solid, decent close below it, we should pull back again, maybe down to this line, right? Oops, I just meant to highlight it, this line. And if we can get a nice close above here, great. We still need to get a nice close about here, but it'll be moving in that direction. So here's kind of our framework right now. So I think that will work. We'll see if we can make some trades off of this. I did have to go back and redraw this confluence. I was trying to see if this confluence would work for anything today, and it kind of worked here just as a place to bounce, but that was about it. I guess it had a little bit of hits and lows. So I'm unless I see something really substantial, I'm going to leave that back over there, and then I'll just have to revisit that and turn it off if it doesn't do anything in the next couple of days. But that's what we got. So I may do this tomorrow if I redraw the next open and the close. So the close didn't move by much. It closed right here instead. If we switch over to the call, so this would only move up a little bit to 825. So from 815 to 825, and then this would move down from closing at 16, 3,200. I don't know if we'll look at the 3,200 puts actually. From 16 down to 1365. So I do kind of like that. This level right here, because it came into play right here, that would have been a really nice pivot. Obviously, you didn't know at the end of the day you're going to be right at this price range again. You do have another kind of double top here. Double bottom here now. Double top here. What is this? 11. Double bottom there. Yeah, that it just didn't continue. So anyway. So we got some lines drawn in. We've got kind of a range. Evening star up here, double top, and morning star reversal down here. We're pretty close to the middle. Actually, the way this breaks down, this is a really nice 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 of this overall range. I didn't measure it or anything, but that's like 40 points. That's 40 points. And that's about 40 points. So 120, no, 110. So I'm off a little bit. This one is definitely 40. This one is a little under 40, and this one's definitely under 40. So yeah, anyway, these are the lines I've got. So the upper one, you can pause it, grab the price. The lower one, pause it, grab the price, and then these are just based off of the open and the close in previous day. So we'll see if we are in this range again. Right now we're in kind of the center range, and we'll see if we get a move down into the bottom, if it pulls back a little bit more or stays in here. A nice inside candle tomorrow, I think, would continue to build some pressure, and just another rest, but we'll see what we get. Hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.